something worth believing in. I was close with someone who loves somebody else the most. Yeah, how could I know? Just a fake who couldn't face the road they chose, the road they chose. And I wasn't a believer before. I saw your pretty face walk through the door, and I believe in something again, something worth believing in. I wasn't a believer before.
For more music, check out our Spotify and YouTube playlists. Enjoy.
You big dummy.
How can you see into my eyes like open doors, leading you down into my core, where I become so numb without a soul. My spirit sleeping somewhere cold until you find me there and lead it back home. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood to run before I come undone. Save me from the nothing I've become. Now that I know what I'm without, you can just leave me. Breathe into me, make me real. Bring me tonight. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood to run before I come undone. Save me from the nothing I've
Stop mistreating Uncle Lou!
Good morning, good morning, good morning. 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 Clap your hands, clap, clap, clap. Stomp your feet, stomp, stomp, stomp. Spin around, spin, spin, spin. All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Wash, wash, wash. Shake your hands. Shake, shake, shake. Brush your teeth. Brush, brush, brush. All right. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, this is Uncle Lou here. Okay, sorry. I'm still figuring everything out here, so let me know if you can hear me now, though. You should be able to. Maybe? Maybe? I think I should wait until somebody says, yes, we hear you now. Anyway, sorry for yesterday morning. Thanks, BVD, for taking over yesterday. I'm still getting everything ironed out here, okay? So it may take a few shows. I had to unhook everything from the garage and move it out here. And on top of that, I have a new soundboard that I've never used before. So it may take a few shows to get to get some of the kinks worked out or ironed out or whatever. So please be patient with me. I'm not any good at this stuff. People email me all the time and ask me for advice or how I have things hooked up. And I honestly have no idea. It's a miracle it ever worked in the garage, and it just took me a bunch of times of fiddling around and changing settings here and there and plugging things in differently and all that. BVD, you there?
Yeah, cool echo. Love it.
What I'm not gonna have is to be trolled about it by my co-host though. So you can call back when you're ready to get back on the show. Yeah, and same thing with this person. No sound. Have a good day, Michael Pfeiffer. See, now somebody's going to have to let me know again if you can hear me or not. I don't have any way of knowing without y'all telling me. So when some idiot in the comments section tells me he can't hear me, I don't know if he's trolling or telling the truth. So we'll just get rid of him until somebody I trust in there tells me if they can hear me or not. Oh, yeah. Good morning, BVD.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. I heard you last time.
We can hear you in the comments.
Okay,
too.
Good. There's nothing I can do about the echo because I'm in a giant empty box. So no amount of complaining about it or pointing it out is going to change that.
Yeah, I was just teasing you. I don't know if you could hear me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not in a good mood because I've been fooling with this stuff for 3 days. So the last thing I need is somebody like you who can barely plug in a microwave calling me up and trying to troll me about the echo that has nothing to do with how all this stuff is set up. Fine. It's just the fact that I'm in a giant empty room. So
plug in a microwave just fine, thank you.
My suggestion to you would be to do what I do, which is if I'm listening to a show or a part of a show and it's so annoying to me that I can't stand it, I just hang up and don't participate. So I won't hang up on you again. I'll just leave that up to you.
Okay.
So, but anyway, good morning in that. This is Uncle Lou and BVD here. Thanks for tuning in to the morning show on a Friday. So everybody survived a week, which is a minor miracle. Well, it's a major miracle for me that I survived a week, but I did, much to the chagrin of some people. And we do have some breaking news this morning on the hashtag drama stream front, which I'll get to in a minute here. And there's some more delays and postponements and whatever else you want to call it with college football. I guess East Carolina and Marshall was supposed to play next week. They've decided that's not a very good idea. So they've postponed that to a date at some unknown point in the future. NC State and Virginia Tech already delayed or postponed what was supposed to be the first ACC game.
When were they supposed to play?
I think they were supposed to play like that Thursday to kick off the season or whatever it was.
Okay, so it wasn't like a 26th start or something like that.
No, it was before that, I think. I think. And anyway, they went ahead and postponed it, which is kind of weird because by the time that game, I know one of the teams was ate up with the coronavirus, but by the time that game would have came around, none of those people would have had it anymore. It would have run its course. It wasn't like they're playing tomorrow, so they postponed it. I mean, it was 3 weeks away or something. So it was just weird to me that they postponed it. I don't know. Seems strange.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Speaking of strange though, I got a message late last night, and I said, "What? This can't be true. Give me the timestamp." So I went back and watched it. Apparently, our buddy ate camel toes, who was so drunk last night, by the way, he could barely keep his eyes open or his head up. I mean, he's drunker than usual. Is working today.
Yeah, I saw you leave a comment about that. I think in Chess's stream last night or something. What's he supposed to be doing?
Well, obviously he didn't say.
No, he just said he's got a job to do or something.
Well, he said he had to go to work today.
Oh.
And he was on and on about how, it's been 2 months since he had to get up and go to work and he better go to sleep and blah, 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 as he's cracking open another Busch Light and downing it in about 3 minutes, So apparently And again, I didn't watch the whole stream, so if it's some kind of a joke maybe, or something was leading up to that I don't know about or whatever, but when someone messaged me about it with the timestamp, it was just him talking about how he has to go to work tomorrow, he better go to sleep, it's been 2 months since he had to go to work, yada, yada, yada. So I don't know if he's actually went out and got a job. Well, I know he didn't go out and get a job. If he has an actual job that he's going to today, it's because someone he knows or something through an acquaintance or a family member or something just called him and said, "Hey, you can come work here." I mean, there's no way he put forth the effort of a resume or applying for jobs online, and he definitely didn't go to any interviews.
I wonder if hauling off all those Busch Light cans would be considered a job.
Well,
It probably would to you and me.
I don't know if it would be considered a job, but it would definitely be a lot of work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He probably gets half of his money he spends on Busch Light back in empty cans.
You think he recycles? I'm sure he does.
And there's no way.
He needs all the help he can get right now on account of him losing his job and his part-time job because of pussies on the internet who think they're trash talkers or something along those lines.
You got to say it right. It's not, doesn't have the same effect unless you say it right.
Well, maybe we should just let him say it.
I think that'd be best.
Okay, here we go.
Some of us lost our job and then lost our part-time job because of pussies that think they're trash stalkers.
Okay.
That one, that's one of the stingers or whatever of his that you play that I actually really enjoy.
Well, you know what the funny thing about that one is, because he spent a lot of time when all this went down pretending he didn't care and he wasn't mad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to get $600 a week unemployment, which he didn't get because he was fired and they turned him down. But anyway, he tried to make it like, oh, yeah, you got me fired, but it's no big deal. Who cares? But every once in a while, he let his true feelings show. And that was one of those times right there. And that's how you know you really got him. Like, he's really bothered, you know?
Well, that and the fact that he says, well, he says, we don't say their names over here.
Oh, yeah.
But then, what was it, a week or two, he went on an hour long. It had to be at least a week ago because last night's literally the first time that I turned him on in a week or more.
Yeah.
So a couple of weeks ago, he just randomly chose you. Or no, it wasn't you. It was somebody else from our group over here he was going off on. I don't know. It was somebody he was going off on over here just out of the blue. Maybe it was you. I don't know. There's so many to choose from.
He's something. Any chance? Okay, if he does have a job, because the possibility exists that he's just going to do something today, like a favor for somebody, or he could be having to do something today that involves physical labor, and he was just calling it work.
Well, we know it's not mowing yards.
No. But from the little bit I listened to, it did sound like he was talking about going to an actual job today. So if that's the case, and he has somehow acquired a job, or a job was given to him, which would be more likely, will he tell us what it is?
I think I'm trying to decide if he's learned his lesson or not.
I don't think he's learned his lesson.
Well, he is a genius. You got to keep that in mind.
I think he may try to, if it's an actual job, something that's going to continue, not just something not going to his uncle's house today to help him clean the pigsties or whatever. If it's an actual, he's got to now get up, whether it's 3 days a week or 5 days a week or whatever it is, and actually go to some job and work a shift. If that's the case, I don't think his ego will allow him to keep that information private. I think at some point it will come out. he may intend to, ego and alcohol, I think, will not allow him to keep that information private for long. I think it will slip out. So it's just going to be a matter of who happens to be watching at the moment when that information comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's this term sneak dissing
Right.
that I've heard on here.
Uh-huh.
A couple weeks ago, I was watching, and he hasn't blocked me yet over there, because when all this latest shit went down, whatever it was, a month, 2 months ago, I quit going over there, and so I wasn't leaving any comments or arguing with anybody. And he forgot to block me as he was telling everybody that I was blocked. So I guess it was, like I said, a couple weeks ago, might have been when he was having that drunken rant. I left a couple of comments just to see what would happen. He didn't see them, but the people in there that, what? How is BVD still a mod? This is an outrage. And so apparently he never blocked me then either. So I'm still a mod over there.
And
I guess
the mods didn't block you as they were outraged that they couldn't block you because you were a
No, they
mod.
can't.
I got you.
Yeah, they
okay.
can't.
Yeah. When you first started, I was thinking, okay, surely one of the mods blocked him, but no, they can't. Okay, so he has you as a mod. Yeah, and he rarely looks at the comments, so there's no telling how long you can sneak by with that.
Mm-hmm. Got to pick and choose your moments over there.
Waikiki, thank you for the PayPal. He says you don't have to read this. It's nothing personal. He helped me. He helped me yesterday with my Wi-Fi extender.
Oh, okay.
And this is just some more suggestions here. I'm just going to say it because someone else may have some input on this too. He says, okay, I have Comcast internet, right? It's for where I live, it's the fastest internet you can get. But like most people, I think most people do this. I have whatever modem Comcast gives you when they sign you up for service. I know the stores sell modems, and I'm sure there are some people that go out and buy them, but I would think generally in the comment section, y'all let me know in the comments. Everybody has internet at home these days. Don't you just have the router and all that the company gives you? I guess they lease it to you. They charge you $5 a month or whatever it is. Don't most people? I would think most people do that. Anyway, he's saying it might be worth it to go buy a good router rather than using the one. Ken AV guy says no. I bought my own, and that that doesn't surprise me.
I've got a friend that did. He's been telling me for years now to go get my own router, and I was kind of thinking like you, why? I've already got one. It's provided by Xfinity. Wouldn't that be the optimum performing one? But apparently not. Yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to be honest. You know what? I think he's on to something because let me tell you what happened with the basically, if anyone doesn't know, and I don't know much about them, so this won't be a good explanation, and I'm going to give like a simplified explanation. A Wi-Fi extender, all that does is capture your existing Wi-Fi signal and rebroadcast it, basically. Think of a baseball game, BVD, and you hit it to center field. There's a guy on second. You hit the ball to center field.
Yeah, it's a relay.
The center fielder's going to throw the ball home. Well, sometimes he can't make it there, so there's a cutoff man, the second baseman or whatever, and he will catch it halfway between the center fielder and the catcher and then throw it the rest of the way home. That's what a Wi-Fi extender is. So what you're supposed to do is you have wherever your router is that comes into your house, and then you have wherever you are that you're trying to get service at. In my case, this new building. You're supposed to put the extender somewhere between those 2 points. So, in other words, the router that I have now will not broadcast internet all the way out to this building. It'll broadcast it at some point in between, though, and then it just kind of cuts off. You have to find that point that's like halfway in between where the extender can still connect to your existing router, but it's close enough to where you're trying to get internet to that it can broadcast a signal for a little bit further so that you can get signal where you're trying to go. I hope that makes sense to people that might not know what a Wi-Fi extender is. Well, here's my problem with the whole idea of a Wi-Fi extender. The router in my house is already at the closest point within my house to this building. It's on an exterior wall that is facing this building.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for me to put a Wi-Fi extender between my existing modem and this new building, the Wi-Fi extender would have to be in the middle of the backyard.
That's what I was thinking yesterday
Yeah.
when you were explaining this.
So that's not an option. And I brought this up to the to the brain dead people at the computer store who knew less than I did, by the way, about wireless extenders, both the people I talked to.
How is that possible?
Right? I know. And what was what was weird is the first worker goes, this isn't really my department. Let me get such and such for you. Then such and such came over there, and such was as clueless as this and that.
I wonder if such and such or this and that have ever had to use a whatchamacallit.
Probably not. So here's what I ended up doing. And this gets to Waikiki's point, I think, about not all modems are created equally, So the first thing I did is I came out here and I said, well, let me just turn this extender on and see if the extender can capture the signal from in the house. And it did. And then it broadcast that signal, and so that was enough for me to get internet in here.
So
But it was,
your extender is in the new studio.
well, it was originally yesterday afternoon when I first got here.
Okay.
But it could barely pick up the signal from in my house. Same with my computer out here. Yesterday morning when I couldn't stream, I could connect to the internet. I was on the internet, clearly. I went to YouTube and youtube.com and it came up and, I hit go live. And then that's when I kept getting the YouTube error saying you're unable to stream.
Okay.
So I'm on the very outskirts of where my existing modem will reach. And so it will connect, but it's such a weak signal that I'm not really able to do anything. So the extender picked up that signal when I brought it out here, and then it rebroadcast that signal. So this whole room had coverage then, but I had the same issue. It was turtle slow because the extender could barely get anything from the existing modem. So then what I did...
Sounds like you needed a Wi-Fi extender booster.
Well, then what I did, I went inside right next to where my modem is. I plugged the extender in. I set it right next to the modem. So now the extender is getting a great signal from the modem because it's literally a foot away. And then I said, I wonder if the extender has a bigger range than the Comcast modem. So with both of them plugged up right next to each other inside the house, I came back out here to the building, and this is the result.
That's nuts.
So I'm thinking I could have just bought a better modem like Waikiki suggested, and that may have solved my problem.
Yeah.
Now, here's why I'm considering keeping the existing setup with the extender, even though technically it's pointless because it's sitting right next to the original modem.
Well, it's not pointless, though, because it's working.
It's working. And this is something I didn't know about extenders either. I can set up a different password on that Wi-Fi extender than my regular modem. So I'm the only one that's connected to that extender. Everyone else is still connected to the modem. And so when I'm out here broadcasting and Lou Jr. decides he wants to play Fortnite online, it doesn't bother what I'm doing out here because he's connected to the regular modem. Now, it's still one internet signal coming in from the street, but I can connect everything out here. Because, see, here's the thing. It's not just streaming. I've got 4 TVs I need to connect to the internet out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, and this is going to be the next...
At least 1 or 2 of those probably don't. I mean, let's be real. 1 or 2 of them probably doesn't need to be connected to the internet. But go ahead.
This is going to be the next... No, actually, they all need to be connected to the internet because I've got Wi-Fi cable boxes.
Okay.
Like, I'm not running cable
gotcha.
all the way out. Like, same thing in the garage, I had Wi-Fi cable boxes.
You could, I was thinking maybe for your local game, you could do like you used to do.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I have an HD antenna on one of the TVs, and that's how I get ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. And then I have 2 or 3 wireless cable boxes. I can't remember. And then all the TVs are smart TVs. So if there happens to be a TV that doesn't have dish hooked up to it and doesn't have the HD antenna thing, I do the ESPN app on there. So in any case, all but one of the TVs was going to have to be connected to the internet. So I need a lot of internet out here. So we'll see what happens as I start hooking more things up to the internet out here. We'll see. The other big thing that I can't wait to, and I'm being sarcastic when I say I can't wait. The videos that I record and upload on my main channel, I shoot those videos and upload them in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how strong this internet signal really is when I get ready to upload a 4K video to YouTube. If I do a 15-minute video and I hit upload and YouTube tells me it's going to take 4 hours and 45 minutes, that's a problem. In the garage, I could upload a 4K video just about minute for minute. So a 20-minute video would take 20 minutes. And if you know anything about 4K video, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's, optimum.
Yeah, it is optimum.
You don't realize it, but you just helped me think of something I was trying to think of. Fiber optics. How close do you think you guys are to getting that?
I wish I had it. We don't have it here. Atlanta has it through. Atlanta has Google Fiber, but Google's not here yet for that. And AT&T actually has started to roll out a fiber optic internet network, but we don't have that here either. So but who knows how long it would be. I would love to have fiber internet. It's lightning quick.
Yeah, it's instant. I
would. God, that would solve a lot of my problems. But I don't know how far away we are here from having that. But I'll have it the minute it's available.
Shouldn't have any of those type issues with fiber optics, right? Kind of the whole point of fiber optics to eliminate a lot of those issues.
Well, fiber optics is just faster. I'm going to have the same issues with broadcasting that signal from my house to this building.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Dago says run it through a PVC underground. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. That's what I should have done. I should have went and I should have done that when I had the electrical ran out here, but I didn't think about it. And I'm not digging another 100-foot trench.
Wonder what it would cost, just curiosity, to have somebody come out there and dig one for you.
That's a good question.
Nah, I'm not trolling.
No, I know.
I bet you the drywall guy would come out there and dig it for you almost for nothing.
Now, let's say I did that. Okay, my internet comes in from the street to the box on the side of my house. It then runs from the box inside, to the inside of my house, a physical wire, and that wire plugs into a modem/router. If I was going to run a physical wire out here, I would run the wire from my modem out the house, underground, out to the building, then up into the building, and then into another wireless router that would then broadcast that signal to this building. Right? Ken AV guy? Okay, Dago says, yeah, you run it from your router to your building. Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Now, it won't do me any good to just run that wire and hook it into the back of my computer. I mean, that would run my computer great, but see, I need wireless in here because there's 10 things in here that need to connect to the internet. So I'm thinking if I did that, hire a day laborer or the drywall guy, whoever, to just dig the trench for me. That's it. Because I mean, I can lay an Ethernet cable in a hole. That's not hard to do. That's not hard at all. That may be an option. If I could get somebody to come dig that trench for a couple $100, I would do it.
Oh shit! I bet you the drywall guy would do it for way less than that.
Maybe.
Now you may have some spots between your house and the building that don't get dug.
The wire would be underground half the way.
Yeah.
Then ran up a pole and overground the rest of the way.
The dirt that comes out of the trench would be probably spread all over your yard. His girlfriend would be there. I'm just envisioning him doing this,
Yeah.
And of course, all this would be done at night by flashlight. Hell, it's probably worth it to us to have you do that.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what happens. 'Cause, right now, the internet situation out here is fine. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen when I start hooking other things up here. The only thing out here hooked to the internet is the computer. That's it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else out here.
Last night.
I mean, who watched last night? I mean, there's nothing in here. There you go.
The red.
This is why it's echoing. I'm in a giant box here. There's nothing to absorb the sound in here. Hardwood. I talk and it's bouncing off the wall, the floor, the ceiling, back to the wall, the ceiling. There's nothing to absorb any of this sound.
So, were you using a filter last night that made everything red, or was that an actual red light?
No, those were lights.
Okay. Trying to see what that is back there behind you. See a compressor.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff.
It's gone now.
There you go.
One of those lights, one of those fancy,
yeah, that's that red and black lights. Thing. That's an air compressor. That's one of those. The studio light is before the power was turned. Remember, the drywall guy people were working till 11 and 12 at night every night. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the power wasn't on out here yet, so I brought that. They were out here with basically like a lantern. Like no wonder the walls are messed up. They were working in the dark out here. So
what is that on the wall behind you? Looks like a shelf turned sideways or something.
That's going to be the bar top.
Okay, gotcha.
How do I move out of the way? Here you go. You can see where I'm starting to build the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started framing out the bar yesterday. And so behind that on the wall is some of what I'm using to make the bar top. Once I get to that point, I should be able to get a lot done this weekend. There's no soccer practices. There's no dance. Nothing with my daughter that I have to take anybody to. The weather is supposed to be good. No rain. Because there's a lot of cutting I have to do, and I don't have any live shows. So I ought to be able to get a lot done out here this weekend. We'll see. Yes, these studs are 16 on center. So I don't know if that was a troll attempt or I don't know what that was. Would people actually troll on whether you had 16 or 24 inch on center studs? But this building is 16 on center.
Gotcha.
Interesting troll attempt, though. No Bud Light on tap in Uncle Lou's bar. Because Uncle Lou don't drink and Mrs. Lou doesn't drink beer. So we might have some wine out here. That's what Mrs. Lou drinks, wine. Other than that, you'll be stuck with whatever's in that refrigerator, which right now I think is Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew, IBC root beer in a bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Which is there really any other way to drink it? Guess what else I got in that refrigerator, BVD? And it comes in a bottle. Old school.
Coke.
Old school.
No idea.
It's red.
Shit. What is that crap?
Cheer wine.
Oh, okay. It's
You remember
not
that
really
stuff, don't you?
red.
Remember that stuff,
Oh,
don't you?
man, I love that stuff.
It tastes like straight. You know, I honestly believe cheer wine is nothing but the cherry syrup that Coke uses to make Coke taste like it is so thick, that cheer wine, and it's so cherry-y. But my kids like that stuff too. And
Oh, yeah. We used to
and the
call
grocery
it-
store doesn't always have it. Like they might have it this week, next week they don't. They probably don't sell a lot of it, so the delivery people or whatever probably don't bring it, but maybe once every couple of weeks. So, but that stuff is good. That cheer wine.
We used to call it cherry wine as a kid.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a big treat when I was a kid, if we could go to the corner store or whatever, and Mom would buy
You
you a
guys
cheer
need
wine.
Dr. Enough over there.
Need what?
It's called Dr. Enough. It's a local drink. It's one of those drinks that people either absolutely love it or it's disgusting.
Yeah, I
And
never heard of that. But you said it's a local thing.
Yeah, it's got a lot of vitamins and shit in it. They call it the original energy drink, and it's like it's a staple over here for a lot of people. A lot of the country boys over here, when they get a bottle of it, they'll take the sticker off of it and put it on their hats. One of them type deals.
Yeah. BVD, how are you at home improvement?
How am I what?
How are you at home improvement? Things around the house. You know, if your food disposal went out on your sink or whatever, like how handy are you?
I'm okay. I'm really good at dialing a number to get somebody to come help. If I can't figure it out myself. And I've got my cousin, the guy that I slap in the videos all the time. I've teased him forever about being a dumbass, but he's really good at stuff like that, especially little things like he can take apart a damn Zippo lighter and put it back together. So he's really handy at that.
People like that
stuff.
are it's good to be good friends with one or two people like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm finding out that, look, listen, he's always been one of those dudes that he's been there, done that, got the t-shirt. No matter what you talk about, he's done it or can do it better than anybody else.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to find out that a lot of the things he says he can do, he can actually do. Well, the ice cream van that you like to make fun of. Yesterday when I was in line at Chick-fil-A, the damn driver's side window quit working. Stuff like that I don't mess with because I don't have any feeling in my fingers anymore. So it's really tough to hang on to things, especially this ought to open up for some jokes, especially tiny things. It's really hard to grip them and hang on to. So shit like that, I'm just not messing with. So I immediately called him, hey, the window quit rolling up over here. If you got the time, meet me at home. And he took it out and fixed it. Well, he got it rolled up for me, the actual switch. is broken on it. So whoever ends up with that thing's going to have to buy a new switch.
Yeah.
But I was impressed. He did it fairly quick.
I'm not a handy person around the house. I'm not good at. Our dryer went out a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a pretty simple fix for some people.
That is one thing you can't fix with duct tape and super glue.
I gave up after about 5 minutes and went to Lowe's. That's how I fixed it.
Went to Lowe's and bought a new dryer?
Yeah.
Or really?
Yeah.
It's probably just an element.
Yeah, well, here's what happened. We were. Do you wash and dry your shoes?
No.
Okay.
I wash them. I hand wash them, and then I'll spin them in the washing machine, and then set them outside to dry.
Okay. We wash tennis shoes in the washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't wash them with clothes. We'll just I mean once a year or something.
Right.
Well, we washed shoes a week or so ago. And so what I do is I take the shoes, I put them in the dryer for like 5 minutes. That's it. Just so they're not soaking wet and they don't weigh 100 pounds a piece. You know, just to barely dry them off. And then I set them outside to dry. There's our dryer. It has a built-in steamer. Like if you want to put a pair of dress pants or something in there to de-wrinkle them or whatever. And so inside the dryer, inside the dryer, you've got like those they almost look like fan blades. And that's what turns the clothes around. That's what spins and turns the clothes around. On the back wall of the dryer, there's this little knob where the steam comes out. A shoe got stuck between one of the fans of the dryer, one of the blades in the dryer, and that knob. A shoe got stuck in there, and the dryer wouldn't spin, but the motor kept running.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if the motor burned out. I don't know if a belt snapped. I have no idea.
Oh, so it won't do anything.
Well, yeah, it makes a lot of weird noise when you turn it on, but it doesn't spin anymore.
Okay, gotcha.
And
how old is it? That's got a lot to do with it.
Like 3 years old. It's
Okay,
not old
so it's
at all.
probably got a lot of complicated shit in it that you don't need for a dryer like cars do now.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what surprised me. The first thing I did is sit on the couch, go to Google, and type in "shoe got stuck in dryer." I couldn't believe how many other people there are out there walking around whose shoes have gotten stuck in the dryer and caused this same problem.
They're walking around with one wet shoe on.
I had never heard of this before, but the internet had heard of it. And so there was hundreds of articles, dozens of YouTube videos of people that had the same problem. 5 minutes I said, no, this is way over my head. So I'm not that good around. I'm not that good.
Well, so far your bar frame back there looks pretty good.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So if I have to do something that I want to do, I have a lot more patience with it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Like building a bar is not complicated. But to me, everything like that is complicated. So,
well, I mean, just listening to you over these last few weeks, you sound fairly handy.
Well, again, a lot of the handy work I'm doing now is not fixing a dryer. It's things I'm actually excited about. So again, that gives me more patience. And it took me 8 weeks from the time I ordered this building to the time it was here, and every day I was watching some kind of different set of videos on how to do this, how to do that, whatever. So I took my time on this one. So I think some of the stuff will come out okay, but I'm not very. I mean, I can change a light bulb, but that's it. Just about stops there.
Can you plug a microwave in?
I can plug a microwave. I even installed an over the oven microwave one time.
Because see, I've got a friend that thinks I can't plug a microwave in.
Yeah, he may be onto something.
Yeah, he's wrong. I can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Hell, I've got a microwave that I have to plug in sometimes daily.
Is that right?
I'll turn the thing on and it'll go for like 2 seconds and then it'll short out or whatever's wrong with it.
And it's just like the internet company. You just have to unplug it, wait 15
Unplug
seconds.
it and plug it back in,
Right.
reset the time, and it works fine for a little while.
Why is that the fix for everything?
I don't know. I mean, too bad we can't do our lives like that,
I wish I could unplug my modem, plug it back in, and then internet would work out here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be great.
Well, actually, did you try that?
Of course I tried that. I unplugged it, plugged it back in. I tried blowing on it.
Did you try banging the side of it?
Yeah.
Cussing it?
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to cover all the...
I even hit it with a spatula. Nothing worked.
Oh, that's a new one on me. Generally, banging on it and cussing it, if that doesn't work for me, then I start dialing numbers.
Yeah.
Beyond that,
Speaking of dialing numbers, I had to go round and round with the trash company this week, too. I should have recorded some of those calls for you.
now what the hell could the trash company possibly have done short of just not picking your shit up?
Well,
Or is that the problem?
that's the problem. So we have an option here of 1 day a week pickup or 2 day a week pickup. We have 2 day a week pickup. We don't have 2 day a week pickup because we just like paying more. We have 2 day a week pickup because we generate an amount of trash worthy of 2 day a week pickup.
Makes sense.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me. So they come Monday and Thursday. Well, Monday they didn't come. And they come every Monday like clockwork, 6:45 in the morning. This must be one of their first neighborhoods because they're here. Because if we forget to put the trash out by the street on Sunday night, it's a mad dash in the morning. Oh my God, at 6:15, you're trying to fix the kids' breakfast and get them ready for school, and all of a sudden it'll dawn on you, oh my God, we didn't take the trash out. And you got to try to run out there before the sun comes up because the truck comes so damn early on Mondays. So anyway, we put it out Sunday night this past Sunday. And then at some point Monday afternoon, I noticed it hadn't been emptied yet. So I called them and told them that. They have till 5 o'clock. And I said, listen, I get that, but every Monday they come at 6:30. They're not just suddenly coming at 4:30 today. They're not coming. I don't know if they skipped this neighborhood. I don't know if the driver's out sick. I don't know if they just skipped my house. Well, sir, did your neighbors all get there? I don't know. I haven't gone door to door and asked, nor am I gonna. But my trash didn't get picked up. So I need the truck out here to get it. Oh, well, it's too late to get anybody out there today, but we'll put the note in and they'll, we'll have them swing by and get it tomorrow, which was Tuesday.
Is the lid always open on your can?
No.
Once they come and get it?
I don't know. I guess it depends how they slam it down on the street.
See, it's always like that. Any neighborhood, any street, the way you tell, if people haven't stuffed their can full to where stuff's hanging out the side of it, the way it's been emptied is the lid's swinging or, the lid's hanging on the back of it.
Well, I knew this hadn't been emptied because usually when we put the trash out by the street, the lid won't even close. So... And that was the case this week, too. So anyway, okay, sorry they missed you. They'll come tomorrow, which was Tuesday. Well, same thing. They didn't come. And so 3:30 or 4 o'clock, I called them. And you know what they said? Well, they have till 5 o'clock. I said, lady, they're not coming. I know they're not coming. Don't tell me they have another hour. They're not coming.
They're not making a special trip back to another neighborhood
Right.
for one can.
Yeah, and here's the thing. If I wait till 5 o'clock, they have till 5 o'clock to come. If I wait till 5 o'clock and they don't come, and then I try to call, guess what?
They're closed.
Our office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Yep.
So that's all they're trying to get you to do is call back after they close so they don't have to deal with you. Anyway, so of course they didn't come on Tuesday, but she assured me they would come the next day, which is Wednesday. Same thing, didn't come Wednesday. So I called them back Wednesday and I said, look, here, listen. Look here, look, listen, look. Also, this trash company won't pick shit up off the street.
Oh, no.
Nothing.
No.
If it's not in the can, they're not picking it up. So I called them on Wednesday and I said, listen, we have 2 day a week pickup for a reason. We generate 2 cans worth of trash a week. Y'all didn't come on Monday. You told me you'd come Tuesday. You didn't come on Tuesday. You told me you'd come Wednesday. You didn't come Wednesday. I'm crossing my fingers that y'all do your job and come tomorrow like you're actually supposed to, since that's one of, Monday, Thursday. You're supposed to come on Thursday. There's going to be a whole bunch of trash in the street next to that trash can. It's going to get picked up and put in the back of that truck. I said, so you need to call the driver or whoever's on this route or whatever and let them know that when they get to my house, they're going to actually have to get out of that truck and do some work. They can't just push a button and have the mechanical arm. They're going to have to actually get out and do it. Well, we don't have any way of contacting the drivers, sir. What? Stop pissing on my leg and you don't have any way to contact a driver. You're out of your mind.
Yes.
You don't have any way to contact a driver. Like there's a trash driver somewhere without a cell phone. They probably have walkie-talkies, to be honest, to communicate different things back and forth. So I said, this is ridiculous. And she was like, well, sir, I'll tell you what I can do. Every morning, we put what's called a driver's sheet on this, in the truck for the driver. I'm going to put on his driver's sheet that you've got some overflow that he needs to get, and we won't charge you this time. I said, well, you'll never charge me if it's an overflow because you didn't. Technically, you are charging me. You charged me for a Monday pickup that you never did. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but anyway, I said, okay, fine. They didn't get out of that. So the next day, they didn't get monthly. Yeah, we pay monthly. Yeah, or every 6 months or whatever. I'm not sure how we pay that. If it's every month or if it's every 3 months. Or
I guess we got it made here. You buy the can, and that's it.
You must have county trash.
That's city.
Well, that's what I mean. The government runs it.
Yeah.
That's not the case here.
So you're okay. I got you.
It's all private companies here.
Yeah. Okay.
They just contract out with the county landfill to dump it, but the actual pickup service is private.
See, as you're telling the story, I was wondering, I've got 2 cans here. So I don't have that 2 day a week problem. I just have 2 cans.
Yeah, no, not us. So Thursday, I was waiting on those jacklegs to come yesterday. And sure enough, they pulled up, they dumped the can, and they went to pull off. And I jumped in front of the truck like that Chinese boy at Tiananmen Square 30 years ago. You know what I'm talking about? That jumped in front of the tank. That was me in front of that trash truck yesterday. And I said, you might want to check your driver's sheet, buddy. And he looked at it and he was like, well, we're not allowed to pick up anything off the street. I said, no. I said, listen, y'all didn't pick this up on Monday. I've called the office every single day. They were supposed to leave you a note on your thing to pick it up.
I thought you were going to say that the driver said, what's driver's sheet?
So listen what he told me. He said, if it's not in the can, we can't get it. He said, here's what I'll do. I just emptied your trash can. If you put that stuff on the street back in the trash can, now I'll empty the trash can a second time.
So
I said, no, that's not happening. You're going to get out here and you're going to. And anyway, long story short, the driver wouldn't get out and do it, but the guy in the passenger seat ended up getting out and doing it. And he picked up all the stuff off the side of the street and threw it in the back of the truck. But man, they made it hard on themselves,
Yeah, the time they spent arguing with you, they could have been 2 or 3 houses on down the road.
Right.
So they probably most likely they spent the rest of the day, or at least part of it, cussing you. You believe the nerve of that guy?
Yeah. And now on Monday, I've got to be, now they're mad at me now. So are they going to screw me over again on Monday? There's a driver's sheet
now you're on the customer's sheet that the drivers have.
Yeah.
You're on their blacklist.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let that guy have something hanging out of his can next Monday.
Is there somebody else on the show today?
Marcus.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to add him. I almost forgot about that. It's 9:00. We're going to add you now or in a minute or two. Marcus, I promise. Okay. Big, long, PayPal here. Jonathan C. Thank you for hitting the PayPal link, this morning, sir. Here it is. I'll put it in the comment section too if anybody wants to take the extra step so YouTube doesn't steal half mine and BVD's money. Thank you, Jonathan C. He says, I've been watching you for years, normally replays, can't catch too many live shows. I work for AT&T as a wireless internet installer, and what you need is a wireless whole home mesh system boost, both speed and range. Extenders just boost the signal, not the speed. Someone may have already let you know watching replay of the night on my way to the office. Lowe's. Okay, then he has a link of. I have heard that in researching this yesterday and the day before. He says a wireless mesh system, and I did read all about that. Like that comes up. That's one of the things that comes up when you Google the problems that I was having, but I didn't really know what that was. But I'm gonna check this thing out here that you I'm gonna check. See, the more you try to figure out about internet, the more you realize how complicated it is. I don't understand the difference between wireless A, wireless B, wireless AB, wireless N, wireless C, wireless AGN, all that. I don't know what all that is.
I don't understand
802.11 ANC and all. I don't know what the differences are between all that kind of stuff.
I don't
need the
understand why there's
fastest,
so many
most
people
reliable thing I can. I even told the lady at Office Depot yesterday, and I mean, this is the worst thing to do when you're looking to buy something. But I didn't want to be screwed around. I said, I don't care how much it cost. I have to have fast, reliable internet 100 feet away from my house. I don't care what it cost. She picks up some $60 thing off the shelf and hands it to me, and there's all kinds of stuff sitting right next to it for 150, 180, 200. Now, I love saving money, but I'm like, well, this has to be better if it's 200, right? She scanned it, and she was like, oh, that's not in stock, but it's not as good as this $70 one anyway. Well, it turns out the $70 one was just the only one they had in stock. And, I mean, I'm not made of money, but without internet, I have no way of making any additional money. So if I have to spend 100 or 1,000, whatever it is I have to spend to get fast, reliable internet out here, I have to spend that money. I don't have a choice. Having fast, reliable internet out here isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for me. And I made that clear to the lady, but they just didn't know what she was talking about. But so maybe this mesh thing is the way to go. I don't know. I thought about calling Comcast, but the reason I didn't call Comcast is sort of like the reason why I don't like what the lady did to me at Office Max or whatever. Comcast is going to tell you that whatever they have is the best possible solution.
Right.
They're not going to tell you, you know, oh, here's what you need, but we don't have that. Go to Best Buy and buy whatever. They're going to try to then sell me something else. And I'm a cynical person. So I'm just assuming, well, of course they're telling me this is the best thing because that's the only thing they have. And maybe it is. But I'm so ignorant when it comes to, I mean, I know how to hook everything up to Wi-Fi in my house, but this is a step beyond that. And I'm lost.
See, that's why it's so hard for me to believe that there are people out there that don't believe that people like me exist, that just don't, you know, this technology shit, I don't get a lot of it. And so I struggle with a lot of it. Now, it provides a lot of entertainment for you people sometimes watching me try to figure shit out. But I'm not the only person that is a tech tard, so to speak. So there's a lot of crap out there. as you're finding out.
Yeah,
You know,
and like I was saying with the bar, I can watch YouTube videos and read how-to articles for a couple of weeks and feel comfortable about, okay, I can build a bar. With this internet situation, I don't even understand a lot of the terminology when I read articles. Or even when I watch a video, and some of the things they're saying, I don't even really know what they're saying. And the more I watch of the internet solution videos or the more articles I read, I actually get more confused.
yeah, I was going to say, you
know,
get worse off.
I watch 10, 15, YouTube videos of a guy building a bar in his basement, and I go, oh, yeah, I can do that. I start figuring out how to get internet out here, and the more I watch and the more I read, the less I know and the more confused I get. Because I don't know, I need help. I think this is I don't know. I think it's working for now, but it doesn't seem. I don't know. I know it's buffered a couple of times. I don't want to have that issue, and I'm still worried about what's going to happen when I hook everything else up to the internet out here. Not to mention having to upload 4K videos. So I don't know. We'll see. I've gotten a lot of good advice from people in the comment section, and I'm going to look into all of it.
Well, your drywall guy, he's in the comment section right now, and he's saying call someone from Saudi Arabia.
Well, I think any technical helpline you call, you are calling Saudi Arabia.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
They've all changed their names over there, too.
Yeah, well, they had to.
There's no more Habibs or Abduls. It's all, thank you for calling Comcast. I'm Axel. The last one I called, his name was Axel.
Yeah. They have like the most American name possible.
Axel. Of all the American names that dude could choose, he chose Axel.
Yeah.
Or I wonder if those names are
They think they're
assigned.
fooling people, don't they?
Yeah.
Jeez. That's sad.
Axel.
Rattlehead, thank you for hitting the PayPal link this morning, sir. We appreciate that. He says, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Rattlehead.
Right.
My favorite third place contestant on the music show. I got faith in you, Rattlehead. You're going to do better next week.
Third place is still pretty good, unless there was only 3 people in it.
Well, there was 4.
Yeah, that's not so. So he was next to last then.
But he wasn't last.
That's true.
And he still got that Bluetooth trophy.
That's
he
true.
can flaunt,
He's still the most talented.
like, just for a second.
All right, it's reconnected now.
You've heard of rodeo sex, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of my favorite sex jokes. My current favorite sex joke though is BBD's never going to have sex again.
I don't know if that's a joke.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder.
That might be just
Might be reality.
the reality you live in.
Well, if that does end up being the case, I'm good. I've had it at least twice. So,
Oh, good. Good. Yeah.
And so have you, actually.
Right. Slim Shady hit the super chat this morning. Thank you. He says TGIF. And
What's he got to say?
that was it. TGIF. That's
Oh,
all he had
man.
to say. He's just glad it's Friday. I don't blame him.
Okay.
One more PayPal, then we'll add you, Marcus, Florida man. Just hang tight, buddy. This is Marlon K. Marlon, thank you for hitting the PayPal this morning. Me and BBD sure do appreciate you supporting the show, sir. Much obliged.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can add Marcus to the show.
I
And
thought,
see
I thought TGIF stood for that guy's butt.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Let's see. You sent me Florida man's number.
I did. Might even be the right one.
Don't get carried away.
I'm going to do that to you one day. Call the show BBD sends Lou the wrong number.
All right. Let's try this now.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Lou.
He's a Florida man, Lou.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Florida man. Let me get BVD back on here too, and also there we go. Florida man, you're on with Uncle Lou and BVD though.
Good morning, BVD.
Hey, what's up? I don't know if I've ever told you this, Florida man, but did you know you're my favorite Marcus Aurelius?
Well, that's great news.
Yeah.
That just made my day.
All right, outstanding.
There's a lot of us out there. Most of us are bastards, so most people don't like them. But it's always good to have. It's always good to have allies.
You're my second favorite Marcus Aurelius.
Hmm.
You mind telling me who's the first?
Yeah, I do mind. That's personal.
Childhood friend, probably.
You're the first and second favorite Marcus Aurelius in the world. Damn.
Yeah.
You're scoring big today.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a burden, but it's a pleasure at the same time.
What's going on with you?
Nothing. I'm sitting at home, about to get ready to go to work here soon. And I appreciate y'all letting me come on.
Hey,
Glad to have you.
Obviously, don't give out any details here. But what type of work do you do?
I work for a pro bono legal clinic.
Oh, okay. That's a noble endeavor, sir.
I've actually heard,
especially if you see my pay stubs.
Yeah.
I've actually heard you say that a couple of times before, and I thought you might be trolling.
Do they?
No.
Does this legal firm? Do they take on criminal cases, or is this what sort of cases?
We do family law.
Oh,
bankruptcy,
hell, that's even better, I think.
I don't know, man. Florida man don't breed well. People down here got some problems. I'll tell you that.
Well,
said,
the family court system has some problems. One of the biggest problems with the entire court system, whether you're talking federal, state, criminal, civil, family court, whatever, is that it's so unaffordable for the average person to defend themselves. So I'm not even trolling. Like, that's noble work you're involved with there. Pro bono legal work for anything. But the criminal justice system being based on how much money you can afford to pay a lawyer is insane.
Right.
I have a big problem with that. But so I like that.
What's even more insane to me is people expecting to get the same, not amount of, but the same quality defense out of a what the hell they call them, a public defender or a public offender, as they like to be called, versus a paid attorney.
Yeah, well, a public defender is basically just a broker. I mean, it's just somebody that will help you get a plea deal for
That's
the most
all.
part.
Yeah, they're best friends with all the attorneys, all the
Right.
DAs. Yeah.
I mean,
but the
they'll
thing
go-
is, a lot of people don't have an option. I mean,
God, well,
I've
been
had to
in that
hire a
case
few
8
lawyers.
times.
I've had to hire a few lawyers, and I can tell you, my cases were not very involved. I mean, my cases involved at most 2 days in a courtroom, and you're talking thousands of dollars for that.
Yeah, 2 days in a courtroom is at least $2,000.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about a trial. These weren't trials. I've never gone to trial.
All right.
I've negotiated plea deals.
Most cases don't go to trial,
Right.
Civil or criminal.
Right. But if you, it's just the cost to defend yourself against the government is prohibitively high, and it's just a shame it's set up that way.
I mean, isn't it basically made so that most people can't defend themselves adequately?
Well, it's not necessarily the government's fault that the attorneys charge so much. That's really
I'm not saying it's the government's fault. I'm saying
no. I know. I'm saying to BBD, it's more of an ethical issue in the legal field that lawyers overcharge their services, and you have to remember there's one lawyer for every 10 people in this country. Believe it or not. So there's it's not like there's a shortage for lawyers. It's not like there's only one criminal defense lawyer in everybody's neighborhood. There's at least 10 to 30 in any given area, and yet they all still charge exorbitant rates. So that's something we push for at our organization too, is looking at people's financial situation and charging them according to that, not a flat rate for everybody who comes through the door.
Yeah.
But
So pro bono doesn't mean free.
yes, it does. It means you don't.
Well, it does.
It means you don't charge any legal fees.
Okay.
So you can still charge them administrative fees just to get paper postage and court fees, but you don't charge them hourly legal fees.
Okay.
You're doing the Lord's work there, or that entire operation you got going on there. You see these documentaries on TV with what's that? The Innocence Project.
Yes.
It's mind blowing.
We were thinking about trying to get involved with them. Our office is actually located out of law school here in Riverview, and so we have a lot of law students that shuffle in and out as interns and volunteers and externs and stuff like that. And they were really interested in doing an innocence project, but we as a clinic just didn't have the resource. Our criminal law is it's just so much to handle.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to really be on top of it every minute of the day. It's not like family law or bankruptcy where there's sort of this long procedure. You have time sharing and stuff, so everything's sort of broken up by weeks or by weeks. And so, but with criminal law, I mean, you just have to be on top of it. You got to know your shit, or otherwise you're going to look like a dumbass in court. Even a public defender will make you look stupid if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And so we couldn't do it. But we're very appreciative of them. They've done some good work. I know a lot of people like me, especially a lot of like conservatives, will say, "Hey, you're found guilty in a trial. God damn it, you're guilty. There's no question about it." It's just not true. There's a lot of people who are serving time or who have pled out who weren't guilty of the crimes that they were charged with.
Think about just DNA alone. The number of people who have been freed from prison after 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and they've been cleared by the technology of DNA is just mind-blowing. This is why I'm against the death penalty. Not because I don't think certain people should be murdered. I do. I've got no problem with certain people dying. But when it comes to the government deciding that a certain person should die, first of all, I don't trust the government to make that decision. And second of all, in my opinion anyway, if one innocent person is put to death by the federal government or the state government, that's one too many. I would rather lock everybody up for life than execute one person who gets cleared the week after they were executed. And it has happened. There's been plenty of innocent people have been murdered by the government.
There's no way of knowing this. There's clearly no way of knowing this. But put a percentage on it of people that you think are wrongfully imprisoned for more than 10 years.
Or for violent offenses, or just
for violent offenses.
I think at least I don't know about more than 10 years. I don't know what that has to do with it, but I think 10%. I would say 10% of the people locked up are actually innocent. Probably my guess would be 10% of the people locked up are innocent. Now I've been locked up. Everyone's innocent. Right. According to them, but
I was going to say, what are you talking about? 10%?
Yeah, but I bet you 10%. Well, that's a whole other issue. I'm not going to get into the whole bail. People been in jail 8 months for you got people that sit in jail 8-9 months for
possession
for simple stuff because they don't have $500 to bail themselves out, and it's insane.
Yeah, or they're homeless and they don't have anybody to co-sign the bail for them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think 10% is probably a good guess. It might be a little high, The thing about charging somebody is the laws are sometimes they're ambiguous, but they're pretty clear in terms of what somebody has to do to commit that crime. And some people will commit half of what the statute says, but not the other half. So in a sense, they're innocent of breaking that law specifically, but they may have, committed a battery or assault. But I'd say under 10%, no more than 10%.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, that's my whole thing with the death. Like if I walk in my front door, God forbid, you hear stories like this sometimes where some guy comes home and something's happening. It shouldn't be to one of his children or whatever. And they kill him. I've got no problem with that at all. If someone breaks in my house, I've got no problem with, them taking their last breath. So I'm not against killing someone. But if I walk into my house and someone's in my son's room, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt what they're doing, and I have no problem handling it. But I don't think the federal government should be in the business of making that decision because too many innocent people, So
well, you could really make the argument that if you came home and walked in on something happening to your son or your daughter or your wife, that you acted in defense.
Oh yeah, I'm not even talking about whether I would be charged with a crime or not. First of all, I wouldn't care. I'm talking about like some people are against the death penalty because they don't think you should ever take another human life for any reason.
Right.
That's not me. I think there's a long list of people who didn't deserve to wake up this morning. I've got no problem with the idea of a death penalty. My problem is with the government being the ones that dole it out on someone else's behalf. I don't like that.
Well, no, you hit the nail on the head. Deserving has nothing to do with it. We have to keep deserving out of the legal process. And if the government represents the people, that means the people are acting in that manner because they think somebody deserves it, not
right?
Because they were proven guilty of committing a certain act to which we have, made illegal. So I'm with you. I'm against the death penalty as well, but I do believe in more strict life sentences. A lot of people get sentenced to life, for a homicide, and they'll spend 40 years and then they're given the opportunity to get released. I don't think that should occur. I think they should finish their life in prison, but definitely not be killed.
Well, I think those people should be subjected to my idea of life in prison, which is never going to happen. A Donald Trump sized wall out in the middle of the desert. You just drop those people off out there and say good luck.
Haven't you already been sentenced to life in prison as a Tennessee fan?
No,
Oh.
no, it was a 15-year sentence.
Oh, it's 15 years. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I hope
15-year sentence.
I hope you get released on good conditions.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Turn your life
Florida, with Florida, we've got 14 of those years done. So
Yeah, a century ago, sir.
I thought for sure we'd make it through this entire visit from you without taking a shot.
It wasn't a shot. It was more of an observation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I really have no choice but to let it slide.
Marcus, since you're involved in the legal system, you seem like a smart individual. Do you want to explain to the comment section? A lot of people are under the notion, a lot of people have the misconception that slavery was abolished in this country. Do you want to explain to them that that's not the case?
Slavery was abolished what?
People think slavery was abolished here. You hear it all the time. Oh, slavery was abolished 100 years ago, 13th Amendment, blah, blah, blah. They've clearly never read the 13th Amendment. I'm sure you have. Let me ask you this. If I say I don't smoke if I say I don't smoke except on Tuesdays, do I smoke?
Yes.
The key word was except, right? I don't smoke except. Well, I smoke then. So if you tell me we're going to do away with slavery except, then you haven't done away with slavery.
Right. Right. I mean, are you referring to like criminals working in chain gangs and things like that?
Well, I'm just referring to what the 13th Amendment says.
Right.
The 13th Amendment does not say slavery is abolished, period.
Right. That's true.
It says slavery is abolished unless you commit a crime.
Right. It does. I don't think it specifies a level of crime.
No.
Like in the Constitution.
It doesn't. It just says no slavery unless you commit a crime.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I mean,
And I'm not saying prisoners are slaves.
issue of
I'm not
chain-
comparing prisoners to slaves. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying slavery was not
Right.
abolished in this country. It was
right.
it
The
was
government
moved. It changed locations. That's all.
Right, and the government could easily, if they really wanted to, for whatever reason, we all hope it doesn't happen, but they could easily pass new legislation and make something illegal, like a political crime or something of the sort, and then enslave you. By that language, technically, they could make that move.
Right.
But God forbid.
Interesting.
I support not chain gangs, the outlaw style, but I do support worker programs for prisoners. I actually wish they'd give them, especially the non-violent offenders or the lesser violent offenders that have been in prison for a substantial amount of time, a worker program that's actually associated with a field outside of picking up trash on the side of the highway, which nobody does for money, and cleaning the floors of a horse stall for disabled people, stuff like that. It's a good job, and it's should be exalted, but it's just not a job they're going to be able to use when they get out of prison. I would prefer prisoners get out of prison, get a job, and try to stay on some sort of track. Nobody's perfect. Then get back into their old habits. I do support worker programs for prisoners in the city and in rural areas.
Yeah.
I would be in total support of the old-fashioned chain gangs for certain criminals, pedophiles.
Well, I don't think anybody has a problem with the idea of prisoners working. The question becomes, should they do it for free? And if they do, are they a slave?
Well, they're getting a place to lay their head every night. They're getting free meals.
So did a slave.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like you said earlier,
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with prisoners working. The idea of prisoners working, and that gets to kind of a punishment versus rehabilitation argument. And can people in general be rehabilitated? Does it depend on the crime? Does it depend on the person that commits the crime?
Right.
Should inmates be should we put more emphasis on educating inmates, whether that's letting them get a GED, letting them learn a trade? If you've got to do, let's say you get sentenced to 2 years in prison. And during that 2 years, you get your GED and learn how to weld. Is that such a bad thing?
Of course not.
Right.
No.
And whether you were paid for the welding you did in prison or not, you're learning a trade that maybe keeps you out of prison a second time.
Yeah, so in my opinion, you are getting paid.
Yeah. Now, I don't think they should have king-size beds and maid service and, 7-course meals and dessert and all-you-can-eat buffets. I'm not that at all, but
getting paid doesn't always mean, a paycheck at the end of the week.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is if you go to prison for a substantial amount of time, you've already incurred an incalculable amount of court fees,
right.
Costs associated with any defense that you may have unpaid, retribution to the victim. So even if you were earning money, that would be an opportunity for you to put that money towards the money you already owe both the state and the victim of whatever crime you were allegedly found guilty of. So that's what most prosecutors would argue. They'd say, yeah, you can pay them, whatever percentage or maybe an hourly thing, but that money should be put towards whatever he owes the court and then to the victim.
I like how you said whatever crime you're allegedly.
Well, he's in prison. Remember, everybody's innocent. They're all lawyers. They know exactly how everything works. They've been there before. So,
I don't think it's right either. The private prisons. I think that's just causes way too many issues. Prisons should not be run by private companies, in my opinion. You got some guy owns a chain of prisons somewhere. He's given $500,000 to whatever congressman. They're then increasing mandatory minimums and all this kind of. I mean, it's because they get paid by when you run a private prison, you get paid by the head.
Right.
The more people you have in there, the more money you make.
Right. You also get certain bonuses for higher security facilities for serial murderers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that really adds up fast.
Right.
I agree. I think prisons should be run by the state. I think jails should be run by the county. I think there should be deputies and state police running these things. These are people that are hired by elected officials.
Yeah. We had a governor. We had a governor here that owned the largest probation corporation in the state. Sentinel was the name of it. Sentinel Probation. It was a private company that handled the probation services for a lot of counties in Georgia. And you had the governor signing these bills that benefited. It was a mess. There's just certain things. I'm all for capitalism, and I know the government screws a lot of things up. I don't think privatizing the criminal justice system has worked out very well. We had people. Sentinel could have you locked up for missing your $40 a month payment. It was nuts.
They had a private probation management service.
Yeah, Sentinel.
That's interesting.
It had nothing to do with the county, the city, the state. Nothing. It was completely private. Now they were funded. They were funded by state tax dollars, and the governor owned the probation offices. So he had no problem signing budgets that included a ton of money for Sentinel probation services.
There's you go down to Greene County Courthouse today, if they're having court today, and sit in on court. There's 3 or 4 different probation agencies in there.
They private there too?
Yeah.
I think that's crazy.
And they each person, really who you end up with getting probation is kind of the rotation, wherever you fall in the rotation. Now the fines and fees and everything are, the same, but it's crazy. That's why you go ahead.
Do they let you elect just to have a regular policeman or a deputy? I mean, I'm not big in criminal law, so I've never really even dealt with probation parole from a client perspective. But a private probation service just sounds like tyranny waiting to happen.
Yeah. And then the governor of the state owns them all. I mean, it was a giant mess. A giant mess. Now they ended up, it was a big ethics investigation, and all that has changed now. This all went down 5, 6, 7 years ago here. There was a bunch of lawsuits filed on behalf of probationers. You had people that would, I know a lot of people have zero experience with the criminal justice system other than maybe what they hear on the news, but unfortunately, I do have some experience. You had people here that had a speeding ticket a year ago. They couldn't pay the ticket. So now most of us watching, if we've ever gotten a speeding ticket, we pay online or we mail the check in, and that's the end of it. If you don't have the money to pay when the cop gives you a speeding ticket, that's a court date. Now, most people just pay the fine and then you don't have to go to court. But there are people that can't pay that speeding ticket. So they do have to go to court. Well, here's what happens. Let's say they go to court, their speeding ticket is $200. If they can't pay it that day, they get put on probation. They then have to go to the probation office once a month. That $200 is split into 12 payments, plus a $40 a month supervision fee that the probation office charges. So now they're going to the probation office once a month. They're paying $200 divided by 12, whatever that is, $20 a month, plus the 40. They're now having to pay $60 a month total to the probation office. 40 in fees, 20 to the ticket. Once they miss a payment or they don't show up, the probation office can have them locked up. Then they can't get out until they pay what they owe. You had people in the Richmond County Jail for 5, 6, 7, 8 months over a $200 speeding ticket.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Well, and two, if you go to court and fight that ticket, of course, and lose, you're paying the $200 fine for the ticket plus court costs.
Yep.
Yeah, at least in Florida, I don't know about Georgia or Tennessee. It differs with every state, but down here, you can actually ask the judge if you're indigent, if you're poor, basically. It's not if she says that you committed a speeding infraction or something, you can say, "Well, Your Honor, I'm poor. I'll pay the ticket, but can I have my court fees, tossed aside or whatever?" And a lot of times the judge will do it. So they have implemented that for those kinds of infractions.
Well, never mind.
Speaking of problems, one problem has been solved, BVD. I don't think I have not told you yet, but I will. Well, I'm telling you now. But this is a problem. This is a problem. If you're looking at the screen, it'll come up in a second. I know it's on a delay. But this is a problem we've had for, seems like, about 3 months here on the morning show. But we no longer have this problem. At least not in September, we won't. But you'll see it in a second. And it'll all become clear. But I'll let you know. I'll call you this weekend and fill you in. But that problem solved, at least for the month of September, on that front. There it is. You should be looking at it now.
Sponsored by the Struggle Bus.
Yeah, we no longer have that problem. I mean, we're currently still experiencing that problem, but that problem is the problem has already been solved and will be going away in September. Yeah, so that's good news. Good news there. Yeah. What about Uncle Lou's new show, though? Now, BVD, on a scale of 1 to 2, how excited are you about Uncle Lou's new show with Pigskin Pete?
On a scale of 1 to 2, I'm about 1.5 excited.
So right in the middle.
Fair?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what about you, Marcus Aurelius?
This is news to me. I haven't heard this yet.
Oh, so yeah. Well,
you want to explain it, and then I'll give you my excitement rating.
Okay. Me and your boy Pigskin Pete have decided to do a show together. We're gonna do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon.
Wow.
Now, it's in the middle of the day, and of course, there's going to be a lot of people that can't watch, but believe it or not, there's a lot of people that can't watch the 8 a.m. show. There's a lot of people that can't watch the 10 p.m. show. There's no such thing as a show that everyone will be able to watch. So anyway, I do a morning show. I do a night show. This will be a lunchtime show. Now, it's a lunchtime show at noon about sports gambling. The name of it is Lunch Money. Wee!
I'm going to go 2.
Yeah, the name of the show is clearly a 2.
Yeah, and Pete gets all the credit for that. Pete came up with that.
Is it going to be like just a quick 30-minute show or like a full 2-hour premiere? Or
we're going to start at an hour. I think I think that's good to start. And this show started as an hour, and it grew. So we're gonna start it for an hour. Lunch money Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon. Lou and Pigskin Pete, and we're gonna talk about all things gambling, mostly sports gambling. College football, NFL. Whatever happens to be going on. But I mean, you can even bet on the election, So whatever, just things you can bet on, things you can gamble on. We'll give predictions on different things, and anyway, it won't be 100% that, but it'll be every show will have something to do with that. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of potpourri, whatever's on our mind type of thing too.
Will there be any gambling on how long the show lasts?
Oh, I already heard from them. Guess what they said?
What'd they say?
They said they think it will last 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, they've learned a bit of a lesson, because I don't know if you noticed, BVD, but when the morning show started, they said it would only last like a week.
Yeah, they also said it would never last.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know how you put the odds on something that will never last, because if it started, it clearly lasted.
Right. Some amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So far, this show has lasted about 10 months.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't, but it seems like longer.
How far, we joke about this day stuff all the time. When we started this back on January 1st or whatever it was, honestly, in your heart of hearts, how long did you think I would last being up at 8 o'clock? Like, how long did you give me?
Oh, I knew you would last. I wasn't sure how many mornings you would skip or take off, or for any reason. Not that you just missed it or overslept or whatever, but
right.
I mean, when you do a show when you do something 4 days a week, just take the average person that works at any job where they're punching a clock. Everyone takes days off, whether it's sick days, vacation days, the doctor's appointment day, whatever. I mean, not everyone. I guess you got those people that say, I hadn't taken a day off since 1992.
Oh,
you
yeah,
do have people
yeah.
like that. You do have people like that. But in general, there's a reason most jobs provide you, whatever it is, 1 week, 2 weeks vacation a year, whatever, 3 weeks, plus sick time, plus family leave, whatever. Most people take days off. So but I never, I didn't think, okay, yeah, come March, he'll be gone. I never thought that.
Well, yeah, it probably wouldn't have made much sense to have asked me to do it if you didn't think I was going to last.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be having to get somebody else on here every other month or whatever. So, no, I didn't. I've missed some shows. It happens,
So 3 weeks, huh? I think you guys will last longer than 3 weeks.
I do
What do you
too.
think, Marcus?
Yeah, y'all are too professional to just give up after 3 weeks.
Yeah. We're starting at a good time for this type of a show, too, because the majority of people that watch both me and Pete, obviously, are college football fans, and we're starting the show right at the start of college football season. Yeah. So that gives us 3 or 4 months where we won't have any issue at all of coming up with things to talk about on a sports betting show. Now once NFL and college football ends and we're moving on to betting on things like March Madness or
well, I know you don't want to give away any big secrets, but will the first show involve any betting on whether or not we have college football?
I don't. You could bet that a couple of months ago. There was, I think it was Bet Now, but maybe it was somewhere else. But it had, you could bet on, will there be any season at all? Will they, will teams play more or less than 7 games this year? Things like that. Right. I don't know. Now that we're this close to the season, I don't know. I don't know if those things are still up on there or not. But that's that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Bet Now, and if you can bet on it, we're gonna talk about it. You remember last year during the Super Bowl, Bet Now had like, will there be a wardrobe malfunction?
yeah.
Yes or no? How long will the national anthem last? Will what's her name wear a dress or a pantsuit? I mean, just all kinds of weird stuff you could bet on for the Super Bowl. But besides that, they have non-sports related things you can bet on all the time. When the Grammys come around, you can bet on who wins that. Obviously, the presidential election this year, you bet on that. Whenever they play the Olympics or whenever there's a World Cup, I mean, there's always something you can gamble on Bet Now. So that'll be sort of the foundation of the show. And like anything else, we'll talk about other things too.
Will you guys have a running, and you probably haven't thought this far ahead, will you have any kind of running contest between the two of you? Or
we have talked about some things like that, and even getting some of the viewers involved in some different things and giving things away. Whether it's once a week or once a month or whatever it is, doing things like that. So yeah, we're gonna keep a running tally, like especially during the college football season, like. Pete will pick his 4 or 5 games. I'll pick my 4 or 5 games, whatever. And
we've got to do that here too. This being our first football season together on this morning show, I've got to have some kind of redemption for my controversial stump the chump loss.
Right.
So is LuTube hiring leg breakers for this new show?
No, I'm not. No, I don't. I don't collect no.
Because every time I scroll through your comment section on your videos, there's people betting you money left and right. $100 here, $1,000 there, $50 here.
Now, unless here's I learned this a long time ago, because I don't want to lose viewers or subscribers over someone that refuses to pay a bet or something. But when I make a bet with somebody and they don't pay, they're dead to me. I have zero respect for people who don't pay off their bets. So because of that, the only way I will bet people now when it comes to actual money, we have to agree on a neutral third party, and that third party has to be sent the money before the game is ever played, whatever game it happens to be. And the only one that I've done that so far is I made a bet with an LSU fan that they would, what was the bet, BVD, that they would finish in the top 4?
Top 5.
Top 5. This guy thinks LSU will finish the season in the top 5. If the season is not completed, the bet is null and void, and me and him just both get our money back. If the season's canceled after 2 weeks and LSU's undefeated and ranked 5th, he doesn't win. If the season ends after 4 weeks and LSU is 2-2 and ranked 19th, I don't win. The season's got to go at least through the conference championship games.
Who's the third party?
BVD.
DVD are getting into escrow services, huh?
And the other guy agreed on that too. So it wasn't like I just said it's BVD or nobody. I said, we agreed. We agreed that it would be BVD that held the money. So, and if anybody else ever tries to bet me actual money, that's just how I do it, because I'm not going to bet someone. And I like Jay Drizzle. He's a nice guy. He shows up, particularly on the night shows. He's on there a lot. I like him. I have no reason to think he wouldn't pay me if he lost. But if he didn't pay me, I would block him from the channel. I would never have anything to do with him again. And I don't like doing that. I don't, this isn't a bet, I'm not here to bet the viewers. But every once in a while, if somebody says something like that, I'll take them up on it. Now, helmet bets, hat bets, things like that, I'm not getting people to, if you want me to do a hat bet, you got to PayPal BVD $20 to hold. No. If someone does a hat bet with me and they don't send me the hat, I'm just going to make fun of them for not paying their bet. I'm not going to block them. But somebody tries to bet me $100, $200, and then they don't pay, they're getting blocked and ridiculed at that point.
I might be looking into your services, Marcus, because I don't know if I told Lou or anybody, but I checked my PayPal account one day and somebody sent me $100. I didn't know anything about it. So I'm like, hell yeah. That's a PayPal donation right there. Now I'm hearing there's some sort of bet, and I'm holding my money for them.
Yeah, I'll give you 10% when I win. So $10.
I don't know what you're talking about, Lou. I got selective memory problems too.
Yeah. Well,
plus transaction fees.
you might have selective memory, but I'm the one that pays you every Friday. So if I win the bet, I'm getting that $100 one way or the other. If you don't send me the 100, then you just made $100 less this week or whatever week that happens. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
Would you guys consider yourselves business partners?
I would, yes.
From a business standpoint?
Yeah, I would. I mean, not in lieu of being friends. If that's what if this is a whole, we're not really friends thing, because that people like to talk about that too. Me and BVD are friends, and then we're also business associates on this morning show.
So Lou could right now,
In my opinion.
Marcus. Lou could basically say, "Fuck you, BBD. I'm done with you on the morning show." And that'd be the end of the business relationship, but we'd still be
But
friends.
you could do the same.
Right.
Neither one of us are
right.
contractually obligated to continue. You know, it's not
Yeah.
that serious. But, I mean, me and BVD do something 2 hours a day, 4 mornings a week, 50-50 split. That's a business arrangement.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have
Sounds
anything
like one to
legally
me.
drawn up or whatever. Maybe I should, because I don't know. Maybe BVD tries to steal the morning show from me. I don't know.
Yeah.
PVD's going to try to encumber your new studio.
Yeah, I'm working on. I'm actually currently working on procuring your password to your channel, and the takeover is almost complete.
Okay.
Oh
good.
yeah. Who did Chess Hall troll to get his Facebook deleted? Anybody figure that out? Is he running around the internet calling people bad names?
I don't think anybody hacked him and deleted his Facebook account.
There is
Facebook deleted it.
With no offense to anybody listening or anybody that will listen, I highly doubt there's anybody that watches these shows and is involved in this quote unquote community that has the skills or access to do something like that. Period. I mean, that's a really difficult task.
Yeah. Now, someone could have mass reported his Facebook account. That's possible. I mean, that's happened to me. I lost a Facebook account one time. When Mark Rick got fired, I lost my Facebook account. I'm dead serious. This shit wasn't funny, man. I had a Facebook account since 2006 when Facebook first came. It was the only account I ever had. And like an idiot, there's a lot of pictures I stored on that Facebook account that I didn't have anywhere else. That was sort of when camera phones were first getting good enough to actually take good pictures with them. You know, the iPhones were coming out and stuff like that. I had baby pictures on there from when my kids were born and just different things, birthday pictures and stuff. And I didn't have those pictures anywhere else. That was my fault. And Georgia fans kept mass reporting my Facebook account because they were mad about the truth I was telling them about Mark Richt. And Facebook actually took my account down, took it away, lost it permanently. So it can happen that way. And I think that's what happened with Chess Hall, because he's got this note from, and people still will report, people will report me all the time that I'm a fake name. And I'll get this I'll go to pull up Facebook and this message will pop up saying, "We need to confirm your identity. Please take a picture of your driver's license and email it to this email address, blah, blah, blah." And I've got to take a picture and send it to him to prove that I am who I say I am. And that's the message that Chess Hall is getting. But he doesn't have a picture ID. So so he's screwed. He said, "I took a picture of a piece of mail and sent it to him." No, they asked for an ID for a reason. Your mail ain't got your picture on it.
Wait, I thought Chess says he's working as a driver right now. He's driving around without a driver's license?
I'm no rat, so I don't know anything about
I'm
that story.
concerned about the fact that there's someone actually saying, "Hey, we need you to take a picture of your driver's license and send it to us."
Yeah, that's Facebook's going to a whole new level with that.
No, they've been doing that for years, because this was, I went through this
I
in
don't
2016, 2015, and 2016.
Never gotten that message.
It
I'm
still
not sending
happens
a
maybe
picture of
once
my
a year
driver's
now.
license to anybody I don't know.
If you go to anybody's Facebook page and click the 3 dots or whatever to report them, one of the options is report this as a fake account. And if enough people do that on the same account, and I don't know what that magic number is, but if enough people, it's sort of like YouTube. I can flag a video, nothing will happen. Probably.
Well, I mean,
But if
define a fake account.
if 100 people flag a video, YouTube's going to look into it. And it's got to be the same way on Facebook. You know, if one person reports me as being a fake name, Facebook's not doing anything. But 20, 30 people, 30 people do it 5 times each in a week, whatever. Yeah, eventually they're going to look into it. And that's when you get that message that you have to take a picture of your driver's license and email it to them. I had to do it multiple times.
You're telling me, Lou, that you've had Facebook send you a message saying we need a picture of your driver's license.
It's not a message they send me. It's like you go to your phone, you tap the Facebook app. Instead of your Facebook wall coming up, a message pops up from Facebook. Yeah, multiple times it's happened to me.
Huh.
I don't Facebook, so I don't.
I don't use mine that much.
Facebook. I used to when I was younger. But.
I've spent a lot of time in Facebook jail, so they have it out for me anyway. I can't tell you how many times I've been temporarily blocked from Facebook for one reason or another.
So would you say you're on Facebook probation right now, or
sir,
are you on parole?
It's not. It's felony parole. I've been blocked for 30 days multiple times.
Okay.
Can't post, can't comment, can't do anything, 30 days. And then they say, if it's kind of like YouTube. If it happens so many times within a year, they take your account away, So you have to be careful. It starts with like a 12-hour ban. First time you get in trouble, they ban you for 12 hours. Then 1 day, then 3 days, then 7 days, then 15 days, then 30 days. It continually gets higher to the point they just get tired of dealing with you and take your account down.
Lou, I know you're excited to hear that Green Devils play their first game tonight.
I am excited. Yeah, I am
waiting
excited.
on the edge of your seat for that.
Yeah. Now, what'd you decide you're going to do? Stream during the game, come home and stream at midnight, not stream at all?
Still haven't decided. I think I'm probably going to stream some during the game, depending on where they put me. I've got a pass. The athletic directors said I've got a pass, so I'll be able to get in. I did find that out yesterday.
That's good.
It's not going to be free range for anybody like it has been. He said there's going to be a designated area for media and blah, blah, blah. So I don't care.
You might have said this a million times, but are you an alumni of Greenville? And if you are, did you play football there too?
No, I'm not. I'm just like ever since I was 5 years old. I've been a fan, and I would have went there, but when my parents got divorced, my mom remarried and moved me away. So I went to 2 different high schools in 2 separate states. So, but my dad was an athlete there. All of my family went there. So that's the affiliation. And as far as the videos that I do, it's too long of a story to tell right now, but basically I just started filming from up in the stands as a fan, and one of the coaches loved it, ran into me at Walmart and said, "Hey, would you consider doing those again next year?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah."
So you put a mask on?
So definitely got to do that this year. But no, they didn't ask me 9 years ago to put one on. They probably should have, but
they definitely should have.
I appreciate y'all having me on. It was nice talking to you for that hour there. I gotta get off, head to work. I'm sure y'all about to do the same thing.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. Thanks for coming on this morning, Marcus. You did a great job as usual, sir.
Y'all too.
Yeah, have a good weekend, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Marcus Aurelius joining us on the morning show on a Friday for an hour. That was pretty good, BBD. That was an interesting conversation. I had no idea. I had no idea what he did. Did you?
I knew he had said that a couple of times, but I wasn't sure if he was trolling or not, because Marcus is a good troll.
Now we know why he likes to type in Latin a lot.
Smart young man, that Marcus Aurelius guy.
Yeah. Well, and the criminal justice system is filled with Latin terms.
In case anybody's wondering, too, Marcus Aurelius is his birth name. That's his government name, as they say.
Right. That's his government name and that. Brian Biak, thank you for the PayPal, sir. He says, thanks for keeping us entertained throughout the mornings. How does one send a mini helmet to the new studio? You'd have to email me. I need to get a P.O. box. Somebody really is going to show up here one day. I keep talking all this shit about how nobody's coming here. Somebody is got. I don't.
Nah,
God only knows how
mean-
many people I've given my home address to. I got to stop doing that. But I'll give it to you, Brian.
Hey, I had a dude show up here, Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I mean, knock, knock, knock on the door, and it was somebody that, well, used to watch my channel.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Ironically enough, he hasn't been back on my streams and channel since then.
That's right. Yeah, it happened to me one time too. Not with somebody that was mad though. It was a fan from, or not a fan, but a viewer from Atlanta. But it was weird. I got to stop doing that. So maybe I need to get a PO box or something. But just email me, Brian, if you have something you want to send me, email me and I'll give you the information you need, sir. Let's get it wrapped up, BVD. I feel like I'm running on E. I told somebody last night, I feel like what I need to do is lay down somewhere in like a dark room for about 20 hours. I'm really running on E, but I
can't do that right now, though. You got too much work to do.
I got too much work to do, and this weekend is a good time to do it. College football season is right around the corner. I do not want to be still dealing with all this kind of stuff once that starts.
Yep.
So I got to take advantage of this time and try to get as much stuff done as I can this weekend. So I'm going to knock off of here, go inside, make me a sandwich or something, I think, and then get to work.
I think you missed a super chat, at least one there at the end.
Let's check it out. Jordan Bowman says Chess can just send his TikTok profile. Here you go, Facebook. It's really me, I promise. I'm TikTok Chess Hall. Look, 70,000 followers. Oh, okay,
Yep.
yeah. We'll reinstate you. Our apologies, Mr. TikTok.
That ought to do it.
That ought to do it. All right, BVD. Another great week of shows on the morning. Well, was it?
Well, I think so. You put me to test yesterday morning. I think I passed the test.
Twice this week you were tested and passed with flying colors.
That's true.
Remember Monday?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to forget that. I was emotionally scarred from that, but I'm trying to work past it.
I understand.
Work through it. Tonight's live tackle football should help with that.
And that's a big deal. So
it is.
That's a big deal. All right. We appreciate all y'all tuning in this week. Keep Uncle Lou in your thoughts and prayers as I continue to try to get everything finished in here. Keep my family in your thoughts and prayers, too.
I'm going to keep you in my thoughts and your family in my prayers.
That's probably the best way to do it. Actually, I actually would prefer it that way. So, yeah, that's let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. That's going to do it. We'll be back Monday morning at 8 a.m. to do it all over again. Hopefully, there'll be more to show you in here on Monday. More to look at besides some blank white walls. We'll see how much I can get done this weekend. Really appreciate y'all supporting the show yet again this week. And I can't wait to do it again. BVD, have a great weekend, buddy.
You too. We'll see you Monday morning.
All right. Y'all have a good weekend.
Every night, songs just remind me of you. I'm wrapped in white noise, keep hearing your voice. Your words keep on lighting the fuse. Back to you, back to you, back to you. Songs just remind me of you.